My name is David Lapthorne. I'm from Birmingham. At the beginning of the year, unfortunately, I found myself homeless, and this is my story. Problems in my life, obviously, it's, one of the reasons why I sort of found myself homeless at the beginning of the year, January up until about April. I know you might say, oh, it's only 3 months and that, but 3 months is a long time when you've got nowhere to live, you've got no income coming in. You just basically don't know if you're coming or going, really. So, 3 months is a long, long time. I lost my other job. Through losing my other job sort of contributed to me becoming homeless. I didn't have no direction in life. I had no money, I had no income. I couldn't get a job because I had no accommodation. It was a massive, big, vicious circle, really. Nearly a 50-year-old man, long-term partner, 3 kids, and then through losing my job, sort of split with the missus, jobless, homeless, no partner, no family support around me, nothing. So it's so easily sort of just taken from me like that. When I was homeless, it felt like just totally worthless, really. Yeah, you sort of get judged, any respect goes out the window. You've got no, if you've got to sort of ask total strangers on the streets for a bit of change, you can imagine that sort of any form of anything just goes out the window. Suicidal at one time, and it's only the thought of, I've got a little 9-year-old girl. It was only the thought of her that sort of pulled me back from doing anything like that. I was sort of hanging around the streets of Birmingham and that, and that's when I bumped into Johnny Hall.
I met Dave on the 15th of April 2019, just by walking up the street to meet a guy for dinner at 8:30. And I stopped and turned and had a conversation with Dave, and that led on to me offering Dave an opportunity. Throughout the conversation with Dave that evening, it was obvious that Dave would have liked an opportunity, and through further discussion that evening, I had asked Dave would he come to site the following morning.
Yeah, when Johnny turned around and offered me a job and all things like that, I just couldn't believe it. Started asking me how I became homeless and what am I doing on the streets and so on. So I started telling him a story, and then he was meeting one of his work colleagues, which turned out to be Timmy, and we walked up. He showed me even though I was born and bred in Birmingham, I never knew the Grand Hotel existed on, where he was.
I'm currently on the Grand Hotel in Birmingham. It's a £40 million refurbishment right in the centre of Birmingham. It's the biggest refurbishment in Birmingham at the minute.
So he took me over there, showed me that there was a project they were doing. Would I be interested in a job there? And I said, yeah. We went out some dinner, myself, Johnny and Timmy, and I turned up at 8 o'clock the next morning. I've been working for Graham since. I still have to sort of pinch myself now a little bit. Very special moments.
It's consciously something I and my colleagues have been talking about, considering, was homelessness. And I think through them conversations, there has been something has stirred up within me.
I remember first walking out of New Street, my first night in Birmingham, out into the night to head towards my hotel. Going to university in Belfast, you see homelessness, you see that people sleep rough, you see that people don't always have it easy, but there was something more intense about it in Birmingham. Even my short walk to the hotel, people everywhere, sleeping bags, begging, and it sort of headed into winter, and you get up and you walk to work and you think, flip me, it's cold. And as you walk to work, you see people and you've realised they've been out there all night, and you start to wonder, how do they even survive? And so from that, I remember then going and talking to a colleague, right, we as a company, do we do anything? Can we do anything?
We offered Dave an opportunity, and through a process, thankfully Dave proved himself.
When I was homeless, I was willing to work. Yeah, I just couldn't find anything. And because I didn't have no accommodation, I had nowhere to use as an address, and maybe that you might only have the clothes on that's on your back, And you know, how you're supposed to go for a job interview, like smelling and looking like, you know, you've just crawled out of a bush backwards or something, you know. And, yeah, so when this opportunity came along, I grabbed it with both hands. Yeah, and I remember turning up at the Grant on the first morning. I walked in, had a massive big beaming smile over my face, and Johnny was standing there, he had a massive big smile over his face, and yeah, so we was all happy all around, yeah.
With employing anyone, there's always a risk, and I believe no less so than Dave. I believe in this instance we carefully managed them risks.
Being based on site is a fast-paced, demanding environment. There's a lot going on. We're obviously trying to get the project finished as quickly as possible, but involving Dave in this was a priority. In many ways, somebody's life, somebody's opportunity to not be homeless anymore is much more important than simply building things. When people are involved, that was a priority for me, so I was willing to incorporate that day to day, take time, guide and help Dave in this development.
The team around Dave deserve a lot of credit for the support they've given him throughout the journey. Dave has settled into his role extremely well. Like many new starts, he's had his challenges, but the team on the Grand Hotel have been extremely good in supporting Dave through his journey over the last 7 months.
Looking back, I think I settled into the role pretty okay, I think. Yeah, you would never have thought 7 months ago I'd never stepped foot on a building site, and then just being given that chance to sort of get back into some form of normality, and like I said, employment, and then obviously with employment came some accommodation, and then obviously some friendship through work-related friends and so on. The reason why I wanted to tell this story was because, like I say, I just think it's such a magical story, you know, and it was just, I was walking up and down the street asking total strangers for a bit of change, and I could literally be I could have been on the other side of the road and Johnny would have bypassed me, and I don't know, God knows where I would have been. It's so easy to walk past homeless people on the street, and you know, if you've got a minute or two, just, you know, try and listen to someone's story, you know, it might sort of paint a bit of a different picture for you. And as far as, like, if I can give any advice to anyone who's homeless out there, just don't give up, just carry on fighting, and hopefully all things will come good at the end. There's good people out there, this is living proof in this.
It has been rewarding to not only maybe have this conscience of wanting to do something, but being able to, even on a small scale of an individual, achieve some sort of success of that person was homeless and now they have a job. I really do believe in him, and I'm really grateful for the person he has been, for really sticking by the opportunity, and I admire the tough times. In my life I have had nothing compared to what he has had to deal with, and so for him to be where he is today, I do admire the perseverance that he has had and where he has taken this opportunity with both hands and where he is now.
My plans for the future, I'd like to keep it simple really. Like I said, just continue working at the Grand in Birmingham, and like I said, lovely group of people working around me. So in an ideal world, I'd like to see the project at the Grand Hotel in Birmingham that we're on to completion, and then move on to another project with Graham after. That's what my hopes are. Small thing I want to do in the new year is move on to get my own place. After flying for the first time yesterday, get my passport and go away maybe next summer on holiday. Never going to take things for granted no more like I did do, and appreciate what you've got, and like I said, and how easy it can be taken away from you, you know.